In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a website using Dreamweaver. Um, Before we get into that, I just want to introduce the basic navigation and how to use Angel Learning website in terms of the assignments. So first of all, you go to the class tab and then go to the assignments folder. And then let's go to week 2 because that's where the first website assignment is posted. And also this is where you are going to submit your assignment. So go to website assignment 1, click on it. And I just read through and get as much information as I can. And it's basically you are going to create a website using the theme of antelope. It's a little cute animal, just like that. Obviously, you can use some of this text and images from the internet when you develop a website. So let's go back here. And then I want to invite you to take a look at the grading rubric. So it's down here. So click on View Grading Rubric, and it shows you how your assignment will be graded. So here's criteria. For example, your website is defined, meaning that you create a website using Dreamweaver after you go through the process of defining within Dreamweaver, so that Dreamweaver knows where the files are and so on. And then should be at least 3 web pages, and the file names proper. I'll go through this a little more in detail later. And apply some text formatting, such as heading, bold, and so on, and a few paragraphs of text. So here's the question: do you really need to create text on your own? Well, for this assignment, since this is the first time, it's okay to just copy and paste from the internet into Dreamweaver web pages. I do recommend you to read the text so you have some understanding of what your content is. It is important that you know the content, not just colors or images, but what you are trying to say, because that will help you to determine the design, the layout of each web page, so that you can present the content in more coherent ways. Anyway, you'll get into that more in depth later on. Okay, the next criterion is a list. Put some list, like a bulleted or numbered list, some images, and so on. So these are the criterias, and also you see the weights. So if you get everything right, you get 10 points for defining the website, and 10 points for having at least 3 web pages, and so on. So depending on varying degree of your completeness, you get different scores based on this rubric. So be aware when you design and plan your website based on this grading rubric. Okay, so just kind of as a preview, once you get the website complete, you are coming back to this page to submit your assignments. So for example, you are going to zip your website folder. I'm going to show you how to do that. And you're going to attach that here and then click on submit. That's how you submit, and some of the students already have submitted their assignments. All right, so let's start. So here's a Dreamweaver. This is CS4, And CS4 and CS5 is fairly similar, especially at the beginning. So if you're using CS5, you're not going to see much difference from CS4 at this level. So that's, but anyway, all right, let's take a short pause here. Let me talk about what designing and developing a website is about. Dreamweaver is a great tool, and it makes easy to develop and implement a website. However, it doesn't create a website for you. So it's you who's going to have to design, plan, and create. So just like any project, you would want to sit down and think about it and perhaps draw diagrams or jot down some ideas and so on. So that's what we're going to do first before we jump into Dreamweaver. So let me just go to Paint. Obviously you want to just do this kind of thing on a piece of paper or a notebook. So let's start with some kind of diagram. Let's see, how are we going to organize this website? So first of all, let's say you want to, now I'm going to go here. Let's see, I'm going to change the color. Okay. So before you start, probably you want to have some kind of a file folder. Let's name it as, let's create a website about apples. Something that I love to eat. Apple site. So this is kind of a concept that I am going to develop, and it is also going to be a computer folder. And then within the Apple site, first thing that I'm going to have is something called index.html. This is a home page or default page of the Apple site. And then my plan is, let's say I want to have a special web page, let's say red underscore delicious dot html. So this page is going to be talking about Red Delicious. And then I'm going to have another web page called, say, Granny underscore Smith html. Okay, I'm going to briefly talk about these files. So let me see, let's change the color. So this is the home page. That's the home page. So when people go to this Apple site, that's the page that they're going to see. It's also called default page, and the name of the file should be index.html, not homepage.html, not my page or anything, because the file name index.html has inherent property, which is that most web servers in the internet recognize index.html as a default page. So let's say, for example, when you go to seattlecentral.edu, you don't have to type seattlecentral.edu/index.html. You just go to seattlecentral.edu and the index page shows up. Okay, that's the basic idea. And then now these pages, Red Delicious and Granny Smith, you can name whatever the name that you think appropriate. However, there's some basic convention about naming web files. Let's see, let's go here. So you can use alphabets, A through Z, lowercase, and uppercase A through Z, 0 to 9. And you can use special characters such as underscore. And pretty much that's the only special character that you could use. You cannot use special characters like a asterisk or hyphenation or colon and a question mark. Only special character that you can use is that. Okay, and then also the way that I use is the way I name the files is something like this. I can say Apple underscore 1 or 2 and so on, and if I have a file name that has more than 2 words, and for example I could say Apple underscore cider dot HTML, or so I'm using underscore, or I could name as uppercase A Apple cider using uppercase C dot HTML, or you can also use Apple underscore cider dot HTML. So you can have, variety of ways of naming files. My suggestion is once you decide your convention of a file naming files, it's a good idea to stick to it. So here, for example, all lowercase but separated by underscore, or uppercase for the first letter of each word, or the combination of uppercase and underscore between words. So those are the ways that you could name the files.